Well, hello, hello. Can you believe it is just a few days out here from Christmas? I can't believe it. I hope you guys are doing well, and thanks for hopping on and watching this when you can. I know that we have a lot of priorities that we're juggling these days, but I heard the other day from and this is a podcast, but you can also watch it on YouTube or listen to it. And it's with Callie Brigham, and she's a top sales director in Mary Kay, and she now has a TikTok. So it's TICK and then talk, TALK, TikTok podcast. And I highly recommend you either subscribe to the channel, or there's even a Facebook group now, of course, that you can join. But just because she's a top director in Mary Kay, it's just kind of fun to see what she's doing with this TikTok podcast that she has. And it's really fun because it's based a lot on time management and just how to, live your best life, but with the priorities that you can place on different things and in different seasons of your life and everything like that. But a lot of obviously what she's training on and sharing is Mary Kay based, and she has Mary Kay, other Mary Kay directors and other people that are like guest speakers and everything. So it's not a Mary Kay focused podcast. However, it comes up in conversation about entrepreneurship and stuff. But anyway, I highly recommend you subscribe to her channel on YouTube if you like to listen that way. I always listen to that kind of stuff when I'm going out for a walk or whatever. That's kind of my time to feed my brain with that great information and stuff. So that's just been a recent one. So I wanted to just put a plug for that. And one of the things she said is we can either be juggling or cradling. And the difference really is just juggling is like, everything's going everywhere and you're trying to, hold everything up and, juggle basically and be frantic. Or cradling is kind of taking moment by moment and actually embracing it, and so helping to kind of slow things down, even though we have long lists of things to do and stuff like that, especially if you're hosting Christmas and all of that. So anyway, highly recommend, though, the whole point in that being just always take a moment to breathe, and it's all good. So anyway, I know most of us in Mary Kay are kind of great at time management because we are so used to doing our weekly plan sheet and kind of figuring that out. So setting our priority list and 6 most important list is kind of a habit. If it's not, I highly recommend you get back to that maybe in the new year. Just writing that 6 most important list before you, go to bed. That way your kind of major to-do list is already on paper. So when you wake up the next day, you already know what you want to do. So I have a 6 most important list, for my business, and then also a 6 list for, just home stuff and everything. So, anyway, that is something that I highly recommend. And if that sounds like too much, then just make 1 list and just make sure it includes something for, your home life and in addition, to your business, but have just at least no more than 6, things that are a priority that just have to get done that day. So anyway, so yes, make sure that you share with me that you are on. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that too. I super appreciate that. So we're going to jump in. I do want to say, congratulations and thank you for holding yourself accountable, Miss Kathy Willem. Kathy turned in her weekly accomplishment sheet. So yay, Kathy, for being accountable and getting back into being consistent with that weekly accomplishment sheet. So congratulations. Thank you for that. And, it's part of being a business owner is keeping track of, our sales and seeing how much profit we're making each week and all of that. So that's just part of it. So anyway, this is our star count so far. As you guys know, we just finished a star quarter. So now we have 8 of 30 stars that we're shooting for this seminar year next June. So the new quarter has started over, which means that your goal, this is how I always worked my star consultant quarter, is to make sure from, for example, December 16th through December 31st, between this 2-week period of time, to have at least 300 wholesale in by the end of the month. And so that way I was like clean on target starting the new year, on target for the new star quarter. So then in January and February, I knew my goal was to at least have the $1,200 in retail sales to back up the 600 wholesale order for January, February, and then do another 300 from March 1st to March 15th. So that's kind of how I track. It's like 3-6-6-3, kind of that mentality and focus, just within each like 2-week window, kind of sandwiched in there to the quarter. So I want to encourage you to get on target for the new star quarter by the end of this month. So I want to encourage you to do that. Here's our beautiful leadership team. Yay, beautiful faces. And the red event, I just wanted to let you guys know the red event will be updated obviously for the new year. So this was the flyer for, up to December's events. But when you do earn your red jacket and you're in that position, you will still be invited to this red event. So I will get the new dates for you coming up in the new year. So I wanted to congratulate again these beautiful ladies, Kathy Willem, Ann Petroni, and Patty Sprecco, because they qualified to be on this exclusive Zoom with Leah Carta. And I hope that you guys were able to watch. I do have the replay. So for you ladies that did qualify, if you'd like to have that, then please let me know. I'd be happy to send that replay in case you missed it. Okay, so next up here, we have our Soar Like Never Before achievers and those that are on target. So far, myself, Kathy, and Ann have completed the SOAR achievement at 600 or more. And then we have some ladies that are on target as well to earn that for this month. So that beautiful jewelry box. And then we know with this one, here we go, that whatchamacallit, the planner is when you have 1,200 wholesale in for the month, you get that additional gift. Okay. So 600 will get you the jewelry box, and then 1,200 will get you the additional planner. So pretty exciting stuff that Mary Kay is treating us to. So, okay. So today I know that, I wanted to just kind of share some more information or more, some more tips and things on the gap versus gain mentality. And then I'll go ahead and I think before I do that, let me go ahead and just switch this up. Let me do just a couple more announcements, and then I will talk about that, and then we'll just finish with that. Okay, so here we go, marking your calendars here. These are the calendar dates for the upcoming company events. And I wanted to let you know that I forgot to advertise on here the January event that Mary Kay, not Mary Kay, but Kathy Oliveira here in Southern California anyway. She is hosting here in Escondido. So let me see if I can share my screen, and hopefully you guys can see that. Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to put this picture up here because some of you are already registered for this. So if you're local, this is an awesome 2-day event, a Friday night and a Saturday. And it's a great way to kick off the new year with an in-person Mary Kay event. And last year it was really phenomenal. It was a great event. Lots of education in addition to inspiration and motivation and recognition. I mean, they really packed it in. Entertainment as well, which is kind of fun. And so it's January 26th and 27th. So if you're interested in attending this event, please reach out to me. It's also in our boards, the link to register. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys, because I think I forgot to share that before. So anyway, so that is what I wanted to share about the calendar. And now let me see, there's one other thing that I was going to look up for January. Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's go back to the whole gain versus gap mentality. And what does that really mean? What is that? So, in Mary Kay, we can be, it can be very easy to sort of like always look into the future of what we want to do and where we want to go and setting our goals and all of that. And sometimes that can be more of a defeating way of thinking. And sometimes we can shame ourselves is a harsh word, but you kind of get the drift where we sort of like, we kind of beat ourselves up basically. Like, I want to do this in the future. I want to set this goal and I haven't done it yet. And so you're focusing a lot on what is kind of considered like a gap mentality. So you're always focusing like on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But in focusing in that, you are kind of beating yourself up over things. You know what I mean? And so the point of a gap versus gain mentality concept is to acknowledge everything that you have done so far and give yourself that credit. And then also looking at it's basically looking at the, like, turning everything into somehow being a positive perspective. So an example might be like, you're in traffic, right? You're in traffic, you're trying to get somewhere, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. And you're, upset that there's traffic, you're annoyed at the drivers, and you're kind of getting that angst inside you. Instead of saying something like, you know what, I have a car that I'm driving and I'm grateful for that. There's lots of people on the road. I know that there is a reason why I'm being held up here, and I know it's for like a greater good. I'm grateful that I have some place that I'm going to. It's kind of like having that positive mentality and positive perspective on things and focusing on that's just a very general example, but let's say it was like Mary Kay related, and it was something like a booking that you had ended up canceling, and maybe it had been several months since you had a booking on your date book, and that booking canceled, and you're just feeling like totally defeated, which is normal, right? But if we stay in that place, there's no power to come from to continue to move forward or to help give us that confidence, right? To continue to move forward. So in that instance, as an example, then it would be focusing more on, well, you know what though? It has been a long time since I've had a booking. I'm proud of myself for actually getting one booked. And I'm going to focus on how I actually got it booked, and go focus on the activity that you did to get to where you were, rather than beating yourself up for it not happening, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to think of some other Mary Kay style examples, but we want to be present in the moment. We want to be happy with our now. We want to focus on just what we are doing and how far we've come, and I think we tend to forget about the past and just sort of let it go. And we're so focused on the future and what the next step is and what the next goal is, which is a great thing to have, that environment where we're encouraging that. But my hope for all of you is that you are at peace with where you are in this very moment, that you are happy with where you are proud of yourself for where you are. And that will kind of release any of the anxiety of but I should be here and I haven't gotten there yet. And, all of those negative thoughts actually are going to keep you farther and farther away from actually achieving that goal. So it's kind of like, when there's a child learning to walk, right? You always encourage them saying, oh my gosh, you took, you got up on, 2 feet, you stood there. That's great. And you applaud them for that, for just standing. Right. And you wouldn't say well, you just stood today. You didn't actually walk. So, you didn't really accomplish what your goal was, which was to walk. So, you kind of ignore that and you say, well, you didn't walk. So, That wouldn't be, and that's an extreme example, but that would be someone focused on the gap, like you, but you didn't do what you said you were going to do or set out to do, right? But instead, you're focusing on, wow, you stood up today, like, yay. I mean, as simple as like even getting out of bed in the morning and making your bed, saying, oh my gosh, I made my bed today, like, yay, that's a win. And focusing on just the things that you are doing. But you would never tell a baby to, oh, sit down, you're no good, you're never going to walk anyway, right? You haven't walked and you're only what, however old you are when you walk, I have no idea. Um, but you would always encourage them. The next day, maybe they take one step and then they fall down and you go, oh my gosh, you took one step. That is awesome. You're doing it. You're getting there. You're almost there. Yesterday, you stood on 2 feet. That was awesome. Today, you took one step. You are getting closer, and you acknowledge what is going well and what is happening now. So the next day, you actually get walking, right? And then, there's a big celebration, which is awesome. And, then you're focusing on kind of like the journey there is a happy journey versus yeah, but I didn't actually walk today. I only stood on 2 feet, or I only took one step. I didn't actually, put one foot in front of the other to say that I'm actually walking. So I hope those examples, I know they're far-fetched from a literal Mary Kay example, but the whole point is to focus on things that you have done well. So my goal for you, or my encouragement and my homework, if you will, for you to do is to literally write down on a piece of paper, just kind of journal all the things that you have accomplished over this past year, and even beyond if you want to, but even just take this past year and really search for things that are not just benchmark goals. An example would be maybe in January you set out to be a red jacket and you're not a red jacket right now. So you're like, well, I didn't accomplish anything because my one goal that I had last year or this year hasn't come true. So, I'm a failure. Obviously, we know that that's not the case, but what things have you done? What changes have you made that are maybe you're more consistent? Just as that example of doing the weekly accomplishment sheet, like applaud yourself for doing, even if you do 3 out of the 4 weeks, say, yes, focus on the fact that you did 3 out of 4 weeks versus the fact that you missed one. So gap versus gain. So the gain is focusing on, I did it though, even though I set out to do it every week, I did do it 3 times out of the 4. And that's actually big for me. So that's like a gain mentality. So you're focusing on what I'm gaining from the activity that I'm doing that's just better than before. Okay. And so when you stay focused in that place, the ironic part about it is that it shortens the gap basically between your present and your future goals coming to pass. So take the time to kind of journal all of the things that you have accomplished and avoid the actual benchmark goals. Yes, acknowledge them, but focus more on just the little tiny pieces and changes that maybe you've made that are like incremental. Some of you, I'm sure, have read, oh my gosh, and I'm totally drawing a blank on the author, but it's called The Compound Effect. And it's how just little wins, basically little things every day, can add up into a really big outcome, a big change. And so it just takes those small incremental wins, I like to call them, and to focus on that versus what you did not do and what you failed at and all of that. So if you haven't read that book, that's a great one called The Compound Effect. But Darren Hardy, that's who it is Darren Hardy is the author of that book. So anyway, I just thought that whole concept of the gap and gain mentality was something that I wanted to share with you guys. And Leah Carta was the one that kind of brought that concept to light. I mean, we've all heard on focus on the positive. It's not the fake it till you make it. I think that's what we get confused about in Mary Kay is, just pretend that you're a Cadillac director and you'll become a Cadillac director. Well, when we pretend to do something, we know that we're not really there yet. So sometimes that can actually not really be a good mental state to be in. But instead, my goal might be to be a Cadillac director, but I'm going to focus here on today and the now and what things that I can do today that are going to get me closer to that goal. And even if they are incremental changes, to simply just focus on, the positive out of any situation versus the negative. So I think that that's just a habit sometimes that we get into, is to just focus on what we haven't done, what we didn't get done today, and just stop yourself and just say, okay, well, what did I get done today? And focus on the positive of what you did do versus what you didn't. So just making that mental shift and being aware of that. So hopefully over, the next few weeks and stuff, you can kind of, catch yourself if you start thinking of that. Cause I think this time of year with the new year coming up, we tend to reflect and we go back and go, well, I said I was going to do this year and that didn't happen. And, I said I was going to do that. And so release all of that and focus on what you did do. And I think that that's a much better habit to create and to cultivate, and just be more present in the moment and looking at the glass half full versus the glass half empty kind of mentality. Okay. So anyway, I hope that kind of made a little bit of sense. And, if you, have any insight or anything you want to share, examples of ways that you can kind of tweak your thought process on certain things that maybe have happened to you, then definitely share. But, it's all about focusing on the good things, right? And making, it's kind of making the lemons out of the lemonade out of lemons, but not even in a negative way, not even that like something bad happened, you have to reframe it and make it good, but just simply what is happening in my life right this moment, and how can I continue to stay focused on like loving myself and acknowledging what I am doing and helping, like treating yourself like that little baby that's trying to walk and go, but yeah, look at what you did do today. And, look at where you came from. The other day you were just crawling and now you are up on 2 feet. So anyway, more on those types of things to come. But anyway, thank you ladies so much for joining. I want to say Merry Christmas. Definitely next week will be off because I will be airport traveling, and maybe the next week as well, because it just happens to be that the travel days are on Wednesday. So anyway, but I will keep you posted in the Facebook group and stuff, of course, just to let you know in case I pop in there. But anyway, let's finish up with our last little silver wings poem. So I have a premonition that soars on silver wings. It's a dream of your accomplishments of many wondrous things. I do not know beneath which sky or where you'll challenge fate. I only know it will be high, and I only know it will be great. So we are going to make 2024 an awesome year, and it's not done yet. We've got 11 days left of this amazing month. And so I want to encourage you, if you have not, achieved whatever goals you are setting out for yourself in December, give yourself some credit and focus on the gain and what you have done and how you have been able to juggle things, and that you can get refocused if you need to. And then have an amazing last couple weeks of the month and celebrate that. Celebrate the activity and the changes, the little tweaks that you are making, because they're all going to add up into really big ones in the new year. So I just know that. So anyway, thank you ladies for joining, and I probably will see you in the new year. All right. Have a good one. Bye, ladies, and Merry Christmas.